Thanks to Conscious for the invitation to speak in this webinar. I will speak more about this later, but for WRI, it's really important to raise awareness about conscientious objections. So for us, it's really valuable to be here and share some of the work we do, specifically in the Right to Refuse to Kill program. As Karen mentioned, and also Jonathan, I'm Natalia, and I'm based in Bogota, Colombia. And I'm the Director of the Q Program Worker at Forest Sisters International. I would like to start mentioning briefly what WRI is, in case it's the first time you hear about us. So Forest Sisters International is a global network of anti-militarist and pacifist grassroots organization and individuals committed to the removal of all war causes. So currently we run 3 programs: the Nonviolence Program, the Right to Refuse to Kill program, and the Countering of Militarization of Youth program. Since its foundation in 1921, conscientious objection has been at the core of WRI's work. And in fact, WRI was founded by conscientious objectors and other activists during World War I. Yeah, and I believe Conscious held a webinar around Seo during this period, so just to let you know that WRI was there. So yeah, WRI's Right to Refuse to Kill program take a broad definition of conscientious objections. So we include declared objectors and total objectors, but also deserters and non-declared draft avoiders, and also refugees fleeing recruitment. And we approach conscientious objection from a human rights perspective, but also we believe that conscientious objection is a non-violent strategy for resistance to war and anti-militarism. We think that conscription is one of the most visible forms of militarism, so that's why we think CO is an important first step to challenge it. And usually groups and movements that start campaigning for the recognition of CO in their countries continue challenging militarism in other forms. So before sharing what we specifically do in the Right to Refuse to Kill program, I would like to mention why we value so much international solidarity, and as Morat just said, and why every action we take and every step we take, we try to connect with others and raise awareness about specific situations and conflicts. We know that each country has their own background and conflicts and government policies, so we understand that it's easy to feel isolated when so many things are happening at the same time. And I think this year, and probably every year, reminded us about that. So yeah, we think like through international solidarity, we think that peace activists and CEOs can feel supported. We can make their voices heard beyond borders, and in general, our campaigns can get stronger and more effective. So we split our work in different ways. So first, we directly support CEOs and CEO movements. So we are a resource for CEOs, and we try to respond to their needs like in the best way we can. We also publicize information on CEO and conscription to the broader public. So we do this like in 3 ways. First, we have the World Survey of Conscientious Objection and Conscription. So if you go to our website, you will find like a list of all the countries in the world, and there's information. Some of them need to be updated, but you can read information about conscription and conscientious objection in different countries. We also have the CEO update, and it's our newsletter where we share news and stories about conscientious objection and conscription. And this year we held 3 webinars. The first one was in January. We co-organized it with Centro de Las in the Spanish state. And we talk about one of the reports on purple washing in the Spanish army. So how, the army was using this kind of like gender equality discourse to recruit women and to say that, oh, we are not that bad because there's women, with us. And in May, we held a webinar on conscientious objection and asylum, co-organized with the Quaker United Nations office and also Connection EV, that it's one of our affiliates in Germany. So we talk about like, refugees seeking Seo. There are refugees and they're seeking asylum in many countries, especially in Europe. And just recently, we held a webinar on Turkey and conscientious objection. What is the situation there? Also, we try to organize our work around actions of solidarity. So, for example, on May 15th is the International Conscientious Objection Day. So we take this as an opportunity to organize solidarity around CO2 military service. And sometimes during this day, we focus on a specific country. So for example, in 2018, we decided to focus on South Korea. At that moment, there were many conscientious objectors in prison. So we did like a postcard action kind of thing. And actually that same year in June, the Constitutional Court recognized conscientious objection. So of course, this was a result of the grassroots work, but also WRI's network involvement in that. And in 2019, we decided to focus on Colombia. We were organizing an international conference that year that happened here in Bogota. So we thought it was a good idea to let people know what is the situation of conscientious objection here in Colombia and other issues that are still happening, but were happening in 2019. And this year we had many plans, but we have to change it because of the pandemic. So what we did this year on May 15, we created a YouTube channel called Refuse to Kill, and we uploaded some videos from conscientious objectors around the world, and also we try to raise awareness around asylum seekers and conscientious objection. And for next year, we are in touch with the Seo Association in Turkey, and we will focus on the situation of the Seos in Turkey as they are facing civil death. That means they cannot access to education or like jobs. They find it difficult to travel. So we will do that next year. Another action around solidarity that we do is the Seo Alerts. So whenever a CEO is imprisoned or irregularly recruited, we encourage people to send an email to the authorities. So to pressure them to release them. So we had 2 recent Seo Alerts, one from a CEO in Israel and another one in Colombia. And we received the good news that both were released. So that was good. And also we have Prisoners for Peace Day, that is on December 1st. So we share on our website names of CEOs or activists imprisoned for their peace work, and we encourage people to send letters to them to let them know that we stand in solidarity. We also try to bring campaigners together. So we did that in the international conference we had here in Colombia. So many activists and CEO could share their own experiences and their successful campaign examples. So we also find really valuable when we can meet and we can talk about what else we can do. We produce also other resources. So we have 2 books. One is the Practical companion for movements, and it's in English and Spanish. I have the Spanish version here, and yeah, we try to make our publications as accessible as possible, like in 4 languages mainly: English, Spanish, French, and German. And also we have an anthology of women conscientious objectors. And yeah, finally, we collaborate with other organizations that work on conscientious objection issues. So currently we are organizing with Quaker United Nations Office and IFOR a webinar series on SEO for campaigners. So if everything goes well, we will do that next year. And if you want to know when this will happen, you can subscribe to our newsletters, so you will receive our updates on that as well. So yeah, as you can tell, we try to support SEOs around the world in as many ways as we can, but we also know that we don't only need the recognition of right of conscientious objection or the elimination of conscription. In the last 5 years or so, like several countries have, no, a number of countries have reintroduced it. This is the case of Morocco, for example, where it was, conscription was reintroduced, and also in Honduras there's this initiative to reestablish compulsory military service after many years of its abolition. Also in some countries, armies are trying to recruit young people, like in many ways, like in schools or through online platforms as well. So for example, in France, in June 2019, we knew about a pilot national civic program, and basically they are just targeting like young people to train them like in a military way. And also there's this project in Germany that is called Your Year for Germany, and they're just trying to recruit young people for their professional army. And yeah, so in this point is where we link the Right to Refuse to Kill program with the Countering of Militarization of Youth program as well. So we work together between those programs. And also we have known that some countries are proposing the introduction of compulsory military service for women, arguing gender equality. And that's the case of Colombia, Mexico, and this year the United States Congress was debating to expand draft registration for women. So that is happening as well. So yeah, as you see, like militarism and armies find ways to impose themselves in people's life, even if conscription is abolished, even if SEO is recognized. I think in the Practical Companion for Movements book, we have a couple of chapters that reflect on this. So if you're interested to know what happens to SEO movements when conscription doesn't exist anymore, well, you can check that out as well. And yeah, I think this was like a quick summary of what we do and have done in the past, and what I wanted to share with you today. Looking forward to your questions.